What are you saying?
Oh, we going live.
Yeah, he's going live.
All right. Little pre-game before we start here.
Always.
But welcome to the Quest Podcast, everyone. I'm your host, Dark Optimus, and we have a very special guest tonight. He is the host of Four Guys with Quarters. He is also part of the TXR podcast. He is Mr. Inferno. What is up, bro?
Gentlemen, thanks for having me on this show, Quest Podcast, a new startup podcast, making some big waves. So I'm glad to be on and chill with you guys. Putting in that double duty. Had four guys a little bit earlier, and now ready to talk with you, gentlemen. Get your opinions on some of these big topics.
Definitely, man. We appreciate having you here tonight.
Absolutely.
For sure. And we're gonna go to the panel. Remix, what is up, dude?
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Real excited to be here tonight and can't wait to get on into these topics.
Definitely. Baines, what is up?
What's up, everybody? Ready for another great show Thursday night? Let's go.
Yeah, definitely. So we're going to go right into it. What have you guys been playing this week? I'm going to start with our guest, Mr. Inferno.
Man, what have I not been playing this week? This has been one of the biggest gaming weeks for me in a long time. Work has been heavy at times, but not terribly heavy. So on Xbox specifically, I've been getting into some Flint Hook, one of my favorite games of PAX, and now it's finally out as of maybe a month ago. So I'm really enjoying Flint Hook. If you haven't tried it out, you guys should definitely at least take a look.
What kind of game is that? I mean, is it a side scroller?
Yeah, it's a side scroller, roguelike, little procedurally generated levels, very much Retrobit style graphics. But the key point is that the protagonist uses a grapple hook to move around the stage a lot. So there'll be stuff shooting at you in a million different directions, and you're going to have to use a grapple hook. You can also slow down some time a little bit, kind of like Max Payne-ish. Gameplay. So you're going to need to use those skills in tandem in order to move around and stay alive. And it's a brutally difficult game, but it's excellent. I highly recommend it, especially for $15.
I've actually been checking it out a little bit to see if I want
it. Yeah, dude, I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. I think it's actually on sale right now for 25% off on Xbox Live until Tuesday, I think. So you can pick it up for a discounted price. Also
nice.
Been playing Injustice 2, of course. Excellent game. Graphics are exceptional if you have 4K HDR. Definitely looking to get in that because it's just a beautiful game. Now I'm kind of like a all platforms kind of gamer. So I got a gaming PC over here. I've got, PlayStation 4 Pro. I got the Switch. So I've been dabbling in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, obviously on my Switch.
Nice.
Been playing, some MLB The Show 17. Been playing some Horizon. Been playing some Quake Champions.
Nice.
I've been playing a ton of shit, man. I could take up the whole podcast of what I've been playing the past week. I've just been dabbling in and out with stuff that I've been playing. It's just crazy. But, Xbox is my preferred platform, and, I'm on there pretty much every night. So thankful for that, of course.
Yeah, definitely, man. You had a good lineup of games that you played this week. That's pretty good. Definitely. Baines, what are you playing, buddy?
I guess I was a little bit boring compared to Inferno. But I completed Dead Space and started Dead Space 2. Well, actually, I'm right at the end of Dead Space 2. It's giving me a tough time. I'm about to just pull my hair out what little bit I do have.
I mean, what part are you at? Are you stuck somewhere? Or?
I'm on the very last boss.
Okay.
Very last boss. Yeah. And then I've been dibbing and dabbing some more in some Overwatch with that anniversary update that they just had. So yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, I have to download that. I haven't checked out that update yet.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Remix, what have you been playing?
Yeah, my list is not too extensive either. I just started up playing a little bit of Shadow Warrior because I'm thinking of picking up Shadow Warrior 2 since that's like half off right now.
Do it, Remix. Do it. It's such a good game.
I'm probably gonna. And also, I've been playing a ton of Injustice 2. I'm not really like a fighter guy typically, but this game kind of hooked me in, and I have kind of been obsessed with it, just like playing with game down sites and stuff all day. So,
yeah, definitely.
That's what I've been doing this week.
Cool.
Awesome. Now I've been playing Injustice 2, of course. That is an absolute awesome fighter. I love it. Now you guys are probably gonna be like, what a freaking flip-flopper, man. I've actually been playing Persona 5. And I have to say, everything I've said in the past about Persona can be completely thrown out the window right now, because I'm actually liking this game. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because I'm older. I don't know what it is, but I'm absolutely liking this game so far. I'm only like maybe 4 or 5 hours in, and I'm liking it. I don't know what it is. I don't know what has changed in my mind, but I'm absolutely liking it. So that's what I've been playing for the past week or so.
Yeah, man, for Persona, Persona 5 I've heard is a lot more approachable than a lot of the past Persona games. It has kind of the best of both worlds. It's approachable for people in the US markets, but at the same time it's authentic for the Japanese market. And I know a lot of people like you that, Persona series, but Persona 5 came out, they gave it a try on PlayStation 4, and honestly, man, like even a person like me who has no interest in Persona, just from hearing good things, especially from people like you that weren't into it and have picked it up, I'm thinking about giving it a try myself.
Yeah, because I played the Persona 4 and Persona 4 Golden, and I think I played, and everybody's just like, "Why did you play all these Personas and you didn't like them?" Because I'm always holding out for hope that the next one's gonna be good, and they actually finally did it, man. I think they actually finally pulled me in, and I'm excited to get back into it and play some more. Because it's definitely different from the others, and they definitely stepped up their game and made it more for a Western market than the last couple of Personas that have been out. Definitely. So, what do you guys? I know we've already probably talked about this a little bit, but Injustice 2. What are you guys' thoughts on the game? What do you think? Did you think the multiplayer is really good? Did you guys get into the single player a lot? I want to hear your thoughts, Inferno.
Yeah, man. For me with these fighting games, the exception of the rule I think was Mortal Kombat X, and now this game. Single player to me is very secondary. Fighting games have, for me, always been about the multiplayer experience. I have very fond memories of playing these games, the older versions, on the older consoles and multiplayer. And Injustice 2 and like I said before, MKX, those two are single player experiences that have a lot of value and aren't just tacked on, kind of like Street Fighter 5 feels like a tacked on single player. But Injustice 2, I haven't gotten too much into the single player playing myself. I have watched streams and I am very impressed with what I've seen.
Oh man, you got to play it. I'm telling you, man, it is so cool. I love the Injustice 2 storyline. I think the first one, the first one was kind of like, I don't know if you played the first one.
Yes,
but
I did. Yeah.
But it's kind of based off of one of the comics in the DC universe, and then they switched around it, and of course made different things, and then now they have the comics that follow Injustice, A Gods Among Us, and then this second one kind of continues what happened in the comics, and mostly what happened at the end of Injustice 1. So it's interesting. It's very fun. But
yeah, it's nice to it's nice to have that continuation between the sequel. It's nice to have a single player that's really fleshed out. The the cutscenes look great. The graphics, of course, great. Really engaging stuff. But multiplayer for me is where it's at. I've played a few multiplayer matches. My man is Aquaman. I will take. I'm calling it right now. I think it's excellent. And it's very different, I think, than MKX. I think people just assume, very similar game. It's going to play very similarly, but it's a lot different, man. I wouldn't say the game styles are very much alike at all. Actually, I think MKX is a lot faster pace, a lot easier to kind of just button mash and not chain combos and stuff, and just do certain moves over and over. Where this, it's like, you need to know the moves. Yeah, you have to practice a little bit. So yeah. I really appreciate that in a fighter, and I think Injustice hits it right in the head.
Yeah, I definitely think that this is NetherRealm's probably best fighter game that they've made so far. Just seeing some of the people playing it online before it came out, I was just like, oh man, I have to pick this up. And I picked it up and I was just like, I fell in love with it, man. It was just so good. And you're probably going to give me crap about this, but my character is Black Canary. I love her so much. She's so awesome.
Oh, dude, she's my character too.
She's such a fast character. I love it. I love those fast characters. I even like Harley Quinn as well. Harley Quinn is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only guy character that I actually really like is probably Blue Beetle, which he doesn't get very much credit, and is kind of a B-rated character in the comics as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of nice to see him shine in this game, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to.
Yeah, I've actually been rocking out with Blue Beetle. He's my highest level right now, but Black Canary is another one. So is Aquaman. I switch around. I bounce around on a lot of characters. I know you're kind of supposed to main one, but I don't typically play a lot of fighters. This is like the first fighter I probably put more than 3 hours into, and like I said earlier, it kind of hooked me in, and so I went ahead and gave the story a try. Thought the story was great. Really enjoyed it, and yeah, I've just been having a blast playing, like game down sites and honing my skills, man. So
I know game. He loves Wonder Woman, man. He's big into Wonder Woman. So,
but he
I
has
have to
dark
watch
side,
out for
man.
him. Oh, does he have dark side? Oh, crap.
Yeah, he occasionally uses dark side. Oh my god, it's so annoying. He just laser and then teleports to you, punches you a few times, more lasers. So
yeah, and he's a heavy character too. So like he takes out a lot of your health as well.
Yeah, and the other thing about the game I love is the gear system. I love the mother boxes. They're pretty easy to get, and I love just unlocking new stuff and like cool looking gear and powerful gear and all that. That aspect of the game is really cool as well.
Definitely, yeah, definitely. Beans, do you have any thoughts on Injustice 2? I know you probably haven't picked it up yet, right, or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not a fighter. I'll wait for a sale on this one because
he's a lover.
the only thing that interests me about this game is the story aspect of it. I'm not that interested in just a fighter per se, but I've seen a lot of streams of the story, and it just looks really intriguing. So I'm gonna wait for a sale and pick it up just for that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think you'll definitely like it. You probably won't play too much multiplayer, so it's probably good that you're gonna pick it up on a sale. Because you seem more of like the story type of guy, anyways.
Yeah.
So
for sure. But hey, you never know, it might grab you. Like I said, I probably put half an hour into Mortal Kombat and like 3 hours into KI, and that's about my fighter experience. And
right, exactly. And Injustice has so much more than just the single player campaign. It has the multiverse that really brings you in and really makes you want to level up these characters to level 20, because there's some characters that you really like, and you're like, well, I want to get them to 20 so I can go online and beat the crap out of my friends or whatever, and get.
Oh, okay, so you have to get them to level 20 in order to go online?
Well, no, you don't have to.
Level 20 is the max.
It's just better if you do that.
Yeah, you'll have a stronger character at level 20. But yeah, I mean, the multiverse is like the endless end game. And honestly, your point with getting characters up to level 20, I'm just like, damn, I wish I could get all these characters to level 20 so I could like equip a bunch of awesome epic gear to them.
Now, does the gear play a role in the fight? Like, does the gear give you extra stat bonuses and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but some stuff is multiverse only, which your multiverse is just against AI. But it does give you better stats and stuff.
But it lets you know what's for the multiverse and what's for multiplayer and stuff like that. So you don't have to worry too much. You can just read it, and you know the big thing that I think is really cool too is if you get like, I haven't come across any duplicates yet, but if you do get any duplicates, you can sell them off and get coin for them. So, you know, when you get coin, you can actually buy more mother boxes and things like that, and it you know, it kind of pulls you in because you know you have a really good chance of picking up some of this epic gear.
Right.
And, you know, and each level has an epic piece, you know, epic pieces of gear to it. So, you know, you could be at a level 1, but you could have epic gear all across the board for your level 1 character. And and I think that's the beauty of it, is that, you know, they really fleshed out, you know, their gameplay for this title. Than they have in the past with like MK and stuff.
Okay.
But moving on from that, Red Dead Redemption 2 was delayed until 2018, spring of 2018. I think this is a good thing, but I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this one.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing, but I think it's also more so to be expected. I mean, I think a ton of people said this game's got 1 or 2 delays in it, so. I mean, we hadn't seen anything except for a little cinematic trailer, and this game was supposed to come out this fall, which, you know, they'd probably be showing off more of the game. It could even be delayed once more, who knows? But I think spring 2018 would be awesome to get it, you know, because even though more games are happening in the spring now, it's still fairly light, you know, like for a bigger game has less competition, you know, so.
Right. Well, yeah, I think everybody was really expecting Rockstar to give you at least 1 delay. So,
absolutely.
They always put out a great product. So I'm looking forward to it. And spring would be a great time for it to release if it doesn't get delayed again.
Well, I was thinking about it. You know, I was thinking about it. The first Red Dead Redemption came out in May of 2010, 2011,
yeah, 2010, I believe.
2010, I think. Yeah.
And so, you know, for them to kind of say that this was going to come out in September, I was kind of like, I guess, you know, it makes sense because Grand Theft Auto 5 came out in September around that time frame. And, you know, it kind of makes sense. You know, maybe they're trying something new with, you know, trying to get their games out during the fall so that, you know, people can just dive into that and play them until Christmas or after Christmas and stuff. But I think, you know, them pushing it to a spring release is a good thing because that's when the first one came out, was in the springtime. And I think if they come out with it in May, probably at the end of May, just imagine, you know, if it's really like content heavy and has a lot of, you know, meat to it, you're going to be playing this game through the whole summer. You know, you're not gonna be playing anything else. So you know, for them, this is a good marketing strategy, and this is also a good, you know, good thing for gamers too.
Yeah, if they have that, you know, I don't know if this is true, but let's just theorize that they have, you know, an online system that is, let's just say, even 70% as deep as GTA 5's online system. Then you will, like you said, be playing this all through the summer, even deeper than the summer. Whereas releasing it into September, yeah, it's a little bit before some of the big hitters come out, but they put this off to the side, even if it does have a good online system. You know, Rockstar can't just bet on standing out from the crowd anymore. I think at one time they could do that, and you know, I'm not saying Rockstar isn't popular still, because you know GTA 5 is one of the best games of all time in my opinion, but at the same time, you know, you got indies, you got more stuff coming out on a daily basis now than ever. So you got to fight against all this competition, and you got to treat it seriously. So I think you're right. I think it was a strategic move. I think it was planned.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's a Rockstar game too. Kind of, I forget who said it, but it's a Rockstar game. You'd expect a delay, honestly.
Yeah, and that, and the fact that you see some of these screenshots. I'm thinking to myself, like, did they really need a delay? I think they're just delaying it because they know that the holiday season is going to be jam packed with some of these games that, like especially like Call of Duty, the new Call of Duty,
Destiny 2
Destiny
is
2.
going to be pretty
I think
big,
Destiny 2 was coming out like a week after that or a week before or something like that. So these games are going to really kind of overshadow. I wouldn't say technically overshadow because it would
but they'll hinder
probably
it.
do good still, but it's still going to hinder it.
Yeah, like Inferno kind of said, I think it'll also, it'll just stand out more with less competition because, no matter what, it's going to sell well, but, it'll sell better in the spring.
Now, people have kind of been theorizing too that by delaying it, they already said in their delay statement, if you will, Rockstar said it was mostly because of, it's the first one they're developing on the new gen of consoles straight from the ground up for new gen. Like GTA 5 came out in the old gen. That was their last big game. So now it's the first one on the new gen. So now, like during the development, it got a wrinkle from Scorpio and PS4 Pro. Now the delay has to do with optimizing for that and getting the best possible visuals. And to that, I respond, did you see the friggin' screenshots, bro? Those already look like they're optimized for something. Man. Those look
exactly.
great.
Yeah,
definitely.
So
those definitely look like something, I know they're probably PC, screenshots, but they look like they were like, okay, well, Scorpio's coming. So is PlayStation Pro is already out. We got to do something for those consoles because we want to get the best version of the game that we can possibly get.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yep. I can't wait till it drops. That's for certain, though.
Me neither, man.
Yeah, for sure. Any more thoughts on Red Dead Redemption before we move on, Phyllis?
Nope.
Not particularly.
All right. So Far Cry 5 was announced this week, and it's set in Montana, which is here in the U.S. For some of the people that are listening that don't live in the U.S., if you don't live in the U.S. What do you guys think? I'm jonesing for another Far Cry. Now, Far Cry for Primal was kind of
you picked that up too?
I did when it came out. I got a physical. Thank God I got a physical because I was like, I don't know about that. And I traded it in like within a couple days because I was like, I can't get into this at all. This is so boring. Like I didn't like it. I hated it. Far Cry 4, same thing. Didn't really like it as much. Far Cry 3 though was awesome. I loved it. I thought it was probably the best one in the series. So I'm kind of intrigued to see what they go with Far Cry 5 and their storyline and how they're gonna, bring this into more of, because I think Far Cry 4 was hampered by the 360 and PS3 versions as well.
Yep.
And then Primal was basically only on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, but I don't really
It's kind of an
that.
in-between game too.
Yeah, it was an in-between game, so I'm thinking to myself, Far Cry 5 might actually be a really good game.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for Far Cry 5. I love Far Cry 3. Far Cry 4 intrigued me, but I just never picked it up. So I'm excited for this game. Montana is going to be kind of cool, interesting place for it. They still have all the wildlife scene there, and we were talking about it a little bit earlier, like what it's all going to be placed in, and it seems like there might be kind of like a cult or a commune. That would be kind of interesting if there's like these communes or something. But yeah, pretty excited.
It kind of reminds me if it's going to be like that movie Red State by Kevin Smith. I don't know if you guys have seen that movie, but that movie's crazy.
I haven't seen it, but I know the concept.
Yeah, the pictures are already getting a lot of I guess criticism, if you will, because of some of the some of the points that I guess people think are going to be in the game. And it's kind of like people were saying, like, I would rather my games be heavy-handed. I'm a story guy, so I want a good deep story, regardless of what as long as it feels authentic, I'm down for it. I could care less about the rest of it.
Mhm.
It's just the game at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably gonna, I think the aspect is that it's a cult. It's gonna have some religious ties to it. You see a guy that says "sinner" on his back, like carved into his back, and the stars on the U.S. flag are replaced with crosses. So yeah, it's definitely gonna have those tones in it. But I think it could make for a really interesting game. Really interesting story. So
Did you guys see the like promo trailers, like the little snippets of certain?
yeah, like the guy running in the field that gets
The
shot.
guy running in the field, the
Yeah, I
dude
saw like,
slamming
2
the
or 3
guy's
of
head
those.
on the bell at a church. Like
I didn't see that one.
these little promos look absolutely insane. I'm just like, okay, this is intriguing.
They're supposed to have a bigger reveal tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Mhm. Yes.
9 a.m. Eastern.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
9 a.m. All right, I'm getting up at 7 tomorrow. All right.
About this Far Cry thing, really quick, if I can get my opinion in here, I think
Go ahead.
that I think that you guys are have hit it on the money. Far Cry 4, not so great. Far Cry Primal, just okay. Far Cry Primal, of course, got a lot of criticism because it essentially copied the same map as Far Cry 4 and just put new objectives and just skinned it as the primal, the prehistoric kind of atmosphere, if you will.
Mhm.
But Far Cry 5, like you guys have said, a lot of controversial themes, cultish kind of story to be expected. And you know what? Controversy sells, guys. Controversy sells. And, if it's not the increased focus on story that could happen in this game, we all hate those fetch quests that get a little too fetchy or a little too often happening too often. I think in games like Borderlands kind of balances it pretty well between them being just simple fetch quests and them pertaining to the story a bit. And you've got games like Far Cry, you've got games like Assassin's Creed, both by Ubisoft, kind of towing the line a little too close to monotonous and repetitive. And now you got a game like Far Cry has map exploration down to a T, but they need the story to back it up. So I think these quests having this theme will spell all these quests having more of a story basis. So I think a lot more of what you do in this game will have some interaction and some intertwining with the story. And I think that's a huge, huge deal for the, revitalization of the franchise. And, I can't beat this, to death enough about controversy selling. Like you guys said, there's already been talks about the damn picture.
Exactly.
You said about the person in the field and getting banged off the head or whatever and killed off the head or whatever. But like, what's going to happen when the game actually releases, or somebody does a stream, or they show it at E3 and there's more controversy? People are just going to be talking, and people are going to want to buy it. So it's brilliant. It's brilliant.
Definitely, it builds up hype for the game for sure.
Yeah, I honestly can't see this game being bad if they go the way that I think they're gonna go, because this whole cult thing and being controversial is gonna really, and because that kind of stuff always intrigues me. I don't know why, it just always does. I'm always like, when it comes to controversy, I'm always like, ooh, I kind of want to see what the fuss is all about. So it definitely intrigues me.
Well,
the controversy, along with if it's less fetch questy, and if they really can just nail the story, I think the game will be good, because Far Cry seems to always fall a bit flat on the story. Far Cry 4, you had 2 options to go with, and neither were that great. Far Cry 3 was a great game. They had Voss, they had intriguing elements, they killed him off a little early, and the ending to that game, I think there's 2 endings in that game as well. Both of them were just like, okay, like that was a weird way to end off the game. So, if they can nail that, then I think the game will do good.
Yeah.
Definitely. So Days Gone is coming to E3 2017 in a big way. What do you guys think that means?
Probably they'll have a lot more gameplay. They'll probably give us a better view on the time in which the game is coming out.
Mhm.
That's more or less probably what they mean. I'm personally looking forward to Days Gone. I know we got a lot of zombie games out, but this one looks pretty intriguing to me.
Now, do you
Uh,
think that this is going to be released this year, or do you think it's going to come out sometime
nah,
next year?
it'll be next year. I would say holiday next year for this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I was gonna ask the same question as you, Artemis. Will it come out this year? I think it's more likely, yeah, maybe holiday 2018. PlayStation like spring games though, so spring 2018 maybe. But I need to see more on this game personally. I'm a little less interested. There just wasn't enough. I mean, yeah, it was badass, like this huge horde of zombies that he's getting chased by, but that's really all we saw. I need to see a little more. It has some interesting concepts, but
yeah, it definitely reminds me of The Last of Us in a way, but more zombie esque and more of a kind of like more Walking Dead feel to it than the previous, like Last of Us, because Last of Us was very somber and it was a good game, great game, but very sad and very, it made you feel like you were part of that apocalypse. So this one kind of makes me feel like it's going to be more action oriented.
Yeah, because the
still going to be a somber.
Yeah, the protagonist is supposed to be like a contractor of some sort.
Yeah.
During this zombie apocalypse, so I think that adds a different aspect to the game.
Mhm.
So just otherwise, just shooting zombies. So we'll have to see how that story develops. It just sounds interesting to me.
Honestly, the only thing I really there's two things that I really want to see is more gameplay, of course, and of course the trailer as well, and a release date. I want to know when this is going to be released so I can plan out when I can buy it and when I can't buy it.
Come on, this is Sony. They don't
Exactly.
give release dates, man.
No,
they get release windows.
I know that, but I'm hoping give us a window. Like I want to see something here.
You'll
give
probably
us
get
like
a window.
April, May at least.
Yeah, I mean, just say, hey, you'll see this in 2018. If you say that, I'm good. I'm like, okay,
kind of
sweet.
long. Give me a 3-month span. What about give me a season? All right.
Instead of season.
Okay, well, I'm sure they're gonna say like holiday 2018 or holiday. If they say holiday 2017, I'm just like, all right. Well, then I guess that's another game that's gonna go on the list for this holiday.
Yeah.
It definitely is intriguing.
I doubt you'll see Days Gone on the holidays. I was expecting more so along the lines of a God of War, but there's been that information. I guess the actor changed his profile and said 2018 or something like that. So
yeah,
I don't know, but that was the only game that I was expecting from that. From their huge lineup. The God of War, the Detroit, Spider-Man. Out of those, Days Gone. Out of those games, God of War was the only one I was thinking that would possibly come out this year.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and we'll have to wait up till. Sorry to interrupt you. We'll have to wait up till E3, and hopefully, we get something this holiday.
We'll see.
Go ahead, Matt.
I hope what Sam Witwer meant when he was talking about this big presence at E3 2017 means that it's going to be playable on the floor, because I will be there and we'll be playing it.
That'd be cool.
So I'll report to you guys back. If it is there.
I'll be there too. I'll be there.
Oh, will you? All right, nice. Nice. Did you buy a ticket or FanFest?
Yeah, I bought a ticket.
Oh, nice. So I'll see you there. And I'm sure you'll be playing this too. I'm hoping that's what they mean by it's there in a big way. Like, obviously I want a trailer, I want a release date, but I want them to say it's playable on the floor, and I want, I think this game deserves more buzz than it's been getting. We haven't heard anything really since E3 2016, and this game has a lot of potential. It's like you guys said it was like Last of Us. I see it as like Last of Us with a little bit of Left 4 Dead, with a little bit of like Dead Rising in terms of the amount of zombies on the screen at one time kind of thing.
Mhm.
You know, I've seen screenshots where it looks like I can count like 50 zombies in the background chasing this guy. So
Right.
That's insane.
that just screams Dead Rising to me. So I'm all for this game, and I can't wait for it. So I hope when he says in a big way, I hope that means on the floor playable, so I can try it.
Yeah, that'd
Definitely.
be really awesome.
Definitely, yeah. I wish I was going to E3 this year, but you know that didn't happen. Try to
Shit
get
happens.
into fan,
You know what I mean?
try to get into FanFest, man. I did it right on the dot, and couldn't get in. But
Well,
it's all good. Maybe next year, right?
yeah, maybe next year.
So former Sunless Sea writer confirms a new Dragon Age is coming. I mean, was this really a big surprise? I mean,
Yeah, I don't think it's a
kinda
big
knew,
surprise. There's kind
you
of
know.
been some rumors and stuff there in the
And
past.
some
You know,
little, hints at that there's going to be another Dragon Age. I mean, I didn't know that Dragon Age Inquisition got so much of a, people hating on it so much. Because
What?
like when I played it, like, and seeing some of the reviews, like people loved it.
Yeah, no kidding. Game of the year 2014, man. It won Game of the Year. So
Yeah, and that's why I was kind of like, I don't understand why people were hating on
where's the hate come from?
the Inquisition. I mean, honestly, I think a lot of it it stems from Mass Effect and Andromeda being not that great of a BioWare game. So kind
Well,
of
I mean, Andromeda was made by a different team. I haven't played
Right.
any of the Dragon Ages before, but a topic later. Games with Gold, Dragon Age Origins, right?
that's right.
Is going to be a Games with Gold in June. So I'll check it out there, see if I'm into that kind of game at all, and maybe pick it up. But
I haven't played. Well, the only Dragon Age game that I've tried to play was Inquisition. I couldn't get interested, man. I don't know what it is. It just felt kind of stale to me now. This is after me coming off of a game like The Witcher. Is when I actually tried it. But I've said I'm gonna go back again and try it one more time. Sometimes 3 times the charm. We'll see.
Well, I think comparing those two, bud, I think Witcher 3 does a lot more with the story. It does a lot. I don't want to say this negatively because it is a positive thing in The Witcher. It does a lot more hand holding. Like The Witcher, there's a lot more like cutscenes that have meaningful dialogue. You connect to the characters more. Dragon Age, you kind of like make your own story. You can play that game for like hundreds of hours and not even know the story. There's just so much to do and so much you can make your own way. Whereas The Witcher, like, a little bit of hand holding that is beneficial,
And see that may have been my issue because like I'm a huge story guy, and I guess with my story, I don't mind a big open world, but I want my story to be kind of linear, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and it wasn't like that. Everything was all over the place. When I got done with one quest, I wasn't really sure, what came next in that string. It was kind of like you said, it was an open playground. Yep. And sometimes that can be good, but I guess at the time that I was playing it, it just wasn't good for me. Now I will go back and give it another chance, since I don't know if these games, do these stories connect at all in any type of way?
With Dragon Age 2 and Dragon Age Inquisition do kind of connect a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Dragon Age 2 and Dragon Age Origins kind of connect a little bit. It's always been that kind of game that kind of connects in certain circumstances, but it's always a new, like, you could get into Dragon Age Inquisition without playing the other two. The thing is, did you get to the dragon battles? Because like when you get to that, like that alone is like.
Well, actually, the last time I played it, the last time I played it, I had gotten to a point where I could see the dragon off in the distance, like we were heading that way, and then I stopped, and then just never went back to it. So.
Well, was there other games that came out at the time?
I don't know, man. Like I said, the game just it felt stale to me, and Inferno basically fleshed it out. It was the point where the story just, I guess it didn't hold my hand enough at that point in time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go back and give it another try, and we'll see how it goes. Especially seeing as how they're having another one coming out, and who knows, the next one may be a little different. So we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see what happens
for sure.
All right.
Definitely. Any other thoughts on the Dragon Age being confirmed at all, fellas?
Nope.
No, nothing else. Okay. Battlefield 1 is adding female characters in the new expansion. I got some stuff to say, but I want to hear what you guys have to say.
Listen, I have no problem kicking a girl's ass on the battlefield. I'll say it right up front.
Oh, shoot.
We've done it.
He went there.
We've done it in Gears. We've done it in Gears of War. I take no more pleasure in Gears than kicking Anya's sweet ass. We've done it in You could have female. What do you call it? Stormtroopers in Battlefront. We've had female characters in these games. I have absolutely no problem with this. I actually think it adds a lot to the game, to be honest with you. I'm going to play as the female. I have no problem playing as the female as well. And, you can make female characters in like Mass Effect. You can make female characters in a lot of competitive games. You could do it back in like Rainbow Six Vegas, those kinds of games. So, honestly, with this announcement, it was just like, it's about time, in my opinion. They should have had this a while ago.
Yeah, I'm totally cool with it. I think it's a good thing, and it's all about I hear a lot females want female characters in the game so that they feel more a part of the game, and so that's always great. And that's pretty much all my thoughts. You think this is at all maybe like a little bit of a response because maybe they're adding this in because Call of Duty World War II is going to have female characters, so they're like, oh, we should probably put some females in our game.
Yeah,
That's
probably
what I was thinking about a little bit, but besides that, I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, I think that is definitely probably one of the reasons why. I'm definitely with Inferno on this one. Like, it's about damn time. Like, why didn't they just do this in the beginning? Like, I don't understand why they didn't do it. I guess they were trying to keep more to the authenticity of World War I, but come to find out, like, there were a lot of female agents that were working undercover during World War I, and and they were infiltrating some of these high level Russian camps and stuff. So it's intriguing. It makes sense. I mean, they should have had it in the beginning, but them adding it now is fine too. I mean, but they should have had it off the get go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think
kind
this
of like a cool thing for a game though. Like have like this could be an add-on to even like Battlefield or some other game, but kind of like play as the female secret op and sneak into like the other camp and pretend to be them.
Yeah, definitely, that would be cool.
Yeah, I think all of this is a response to something, even though it should have been done in the first place. I think it's a little, I don't know, social justice warrior-ish type of pull.
Yeah.
That made this come about. But either way, it's cool. It should have been there in the first place. So that's just EA's bad on that. They should have known that there would be some type of backlash. But it's a good thing. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm with Inferno. I'll kick a girl's ass just like kick a dude's ass. So,
man,
on that gaming feel, let's make that clear. But yeah.
Thanks for clarifying that.
Just had to make sure. But yeah, it's a good thing, man.
Definitely. So Xbox Games with Gold for June 2017. What do we got? We got Watch Dogs 2. We got what?
Watch Dogs 1.
Watch Dogs 1. Sorry. Watch Dogs 1. I was going to say Watch Dogs 2. Oh, man. That might actually be a good
That
one.
would have been.
But yeah, Watch Dogs 1, you have Assassin's Creed 3, you have I forgot the other two.
Dragon Age Origins, and you have
Dragon Age
Speedrunners.
Origins, you already said that one. And then what was the other one?
Speedrunners.
Speedrunners. Now, Speedrunners. Inferno, do you know anything about this game? Because
I know a lot about this game.
okay,
bro.
I want to hear. I want to hear from you what this game is because it intrigues me. It makes me kind of want to get into it and play it because I mean it is free. So
listen, it is extremely streamable. Let's just say that it's from a reputable publisher, Tiny Build Games. They've put out stuff like Party Hard. If you guys remember what Party Hard is, they're good at putting out indie games. They've got Hello Neighbor coming up pretty soon. Reputable company, and this game is honestly, it puts you in an arena. You can play with, I believe, up to 8 people, and you literally have to, run off the screen. Like there's obstacles you have to jump through. It's like a maze. It's almost like American Ninja Warrior a little bit. We have to navigate your character. All of them are on the same screen. You can flip switches to block players so they get knocked off the screen. And if they get knocked off the screen from the back to the back of the screen, they're eliminated. So basically it's just going around this arena, making sure you're ahead of everyone else. Because if you're behind people and you get knocked off the screen, you're out. So it's really action packed. Very streamable, very party-ish kind of game, approachable for everyone. There's really like 3 buttons. And at PAX, PAX East 2017, Tiny Build had it. They had tournaments going, they had announcers going, kind of like not like Major League Game, but like esports, like an announcer like giving a bunch of hype and stuff. They're giving up prizes. It's an exciting game, and I'm glad it's coming for free because I think it's going to do well now that it is free because more people are going to give it a try. Kind of like IDARB was back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think IDARB would have done too well if it were paid for out of the get-go. I think a lot of people gave it a try and liked it because it was free. And I think Speedrunners, I think a lot of people are going to like. You may like it a little bit more if you have players in your couch or on your couch doing couch co-op. I don't know if it has online co-op, but I believe it does. And I mean, if it has online co-op, it's a must, dude. It's a great streamable game.
Well, I think it has online co-op for at least the PC because I've seen streamers play it before that, aren't together, like aren't in the same area. So
yeah. So it probably does. It probably does. And a lot of people are looking for party games. Like if you have game nights and stuff with the community or whatever, you just want to get a bunch of people together. You can get like 8 people going and playing this. It's very competitive, very quick games, so you can get a few in and get out of there. And I think it's really, really good. I'm really happy that they offered it this month.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited that they tried it too. Like I've said, a couple times. Yeah, I've seen some streamers play it before, so I think it'll be interesting to try out. And yeah, your whole point, like glad it's free. Me too, because I don't know if it's something I would want to put like some money down on, but definitely gonna pick it up and have some fun. Maybe kick Optimus's ass, as I usually do. So.
Yeah, that usually happens in every game we play. I mean, unless we're on the same team, he's usually right there in front of my face saying, "Bye, Optimus."
Yeah,
great. But what do you guys think of this lineup of games with gold? I mean, do you guys think it's a good month, or do you think it's kind of a weak month, or?
It's a pretty decent month, especially if you haven't if you don't have these games, you haven't played them. Watch Dogs is basically a this generation AAA title, So it's a really decent month. So I think Xbox did a good job.
Yeah, definitely agree. I think it's
It was, Watch Dogs was actually one of those games that was also hampered by, the last generation of consoles as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's kind of the reason why that game didn't do so well. And that's why the sequel, I think, actually did fairly well. I don't think we're probably not going to see a third one, but I think it definitely gave some hope a little bit to the Watch Dogs franchise. So
I think they've already come out and said that they're going to be working on a third one.
Oh, well, then I
think they
guess.
should work on a third one. I mean, I enjoy it too. Yeah, I know some people were turned off from like the vibe from the trailers and stuff, but I
Two
actually
is really
thought it
good.
was pretty funny, and it actually had
Yeah.
a pretty good story to it. Watch Dogs 1 I haven't played, but it's a AAA game. I think it's good for the lineup. Assassin's Creed 3 I haven't played, but it looked pretty interesting as well. And like I said, I'm going to give Dragon Age Origins a try. And also, they're releasing a Phantom Dust DLC for gold members. So that's pretty cool. I haven't tried Phantom Dust out yet, but I do have to get around to doing that at some point. So
Definitely. What'd you think of it in front of this month's coming up?
If I may assign a letter grade, I would say Xbox One is B plus, Xbox 360 A minus. I think 360 takes the cake because Dragon Age Origins was a AAA, fairly highly regarded. Assassin's Creed 3, people will argue what Assassin's Creeds are the best. Some people say 3, some people say 2, some people say 4. You know what I mean? People go back and
Brotherhood.
forth. Some people say Brotherhood, some people say Brotherhood sucks.
Brotherhood.
You know what I mean?
How dare they say that? How dare they say Brotherhood sucks?
See, people are really people are divided on it. So nonetheless, it's an Assassin's Creed. It's an Assassin's Creed game, and a lot of people, especially on the Xbox One, I think a lot of people that had never had a 360 that have an Xbox One did not play Assassin's Creed 3, or if it's their first console, they haven't played it. And I think it probably holds up fairly well. Sometimes you get these backwards compatible games that'll hold up really well, or even like re-releases of games like Phantom Dust that doesn't hold up well at all.
Yeah.
But I think, even though I think Speedrunners is an excellent ad, I think that the 360 games take the cake because it's two AAAs, like we've said here, and it's two experiences that are worthwhile ones. I think people should definitely give each of those a try.
Definitely. So this next topic is probably gonna make us a little asking the question why. It's also probably going to make us a little bit sad as well, because Microsoft renames Beam to the name Mixer. Why? Yeah. Well, I don't understand.
Personally, I like the name Beam more, but I mean, the statement they made is that it didn't translate over to other countries or other other languages well. So that's why they said that they changed the name. And it could also be, a bit of a rebranding thing too. Kind of like a re-release of this, show off what they have kind of thing as well. But they're also adding some they're adding co-op streaming to Mixer, as we now call it. So that's pretty cool. You can stream like co-stream up to 4 screens on one screen. So that's awesome, I think. And you're going to be able to stream from your mobile device. So that's neat. And they're going to stream, Xbox is going to stream their E3 conference to Mixer in 4K. So that's cool.
Oh, nice.
If you want,
if you want like
the Scorpio shebang, is basically what they're saying. Hop on Mixer if you have a 4K TV,
I thought it was hilarious that earlier James Shields, who's one of the heads of accessories over at Xbox, if you're not familiar with him, you should follow him on Xbox, on both Xbox and Twitter, because he's a very funny guy. He said on Twitter, I don't know if I should just stay home now from E3 instead of watching it so I can get it in 4K. And somebody responded back to him, I'm pretty sure real life vision is better than 4K.
Well, not for everyone. I mean,
yeah, that's true. Some people have bad eyesight. You know what I mean? But yeah, to your point about the 4K streaming thing from Beam and showing off Scorpio's capabilities. This is something that we've mentioned on TXI. We mentioned on 4 Guys before, and it was one of the things that I think is going to be hampering the sales of Scorpio, honestly, is that people without 4K TVs, without HDR, aren't going to be able to see the difference. And now Microsoft is responding to those criticisms, and they're trying as hard as they can. They're going to have it on Beam. They're going to have it on Xbox Live Events app, the interactive app on the Xbox. They're trying as hard as they can to get everybody to watch their stream of it so you can see it in 4K without a doubt and see the benefits. So I think this move is a big move in addressing criticisms that people had about showing off 4K content. Because let's face it, I mean, there are phones out there that can watch 4K stuff. Like if you have like a Galaxy S8 or like, some of these displays that just have ridiculous resolution now, even like Surface tablets are higher than 1440p. You should be able to take advantage of those and see the difference and see what Scorpio can offer. Like Phil said, see what we have to offer before you pre-order. And I think they're addressing that with this beam move.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely. I was a little bit like thrown back by the name of it, like Mixer, but like now I'm kind of like thinking to myself, does that really matter, the name, as long as it continues to do what it was created for?
Right on, man. Yep.
They should have had like a little thing though, like beam it to me, Scotty. And like, the stream on your phone or whatever. That'd be funny. That's what I kind of always thought of about it. But
definitely would have been hilarious if they did that. Any more thoughts on the rename of Beam at all?
I think
Not
the
the
new
rename, but go ahead, Baines. Go ahead.
I think the new features are very, very interesting. So we'll have to see how it goes.
Yeah, because we were talking about possibly streaming Destiny 2 together, and that'd be awesome. Put all of our screens up at the same time and stream it all together. That'd be really cool.
Definitely. Yeah, that'd be cool. Definitely cool. So, Xbox Game Pass hits June 1st, but right now, if you're a gold member, you can try it out for 14 days. So you have 2 weeks to try it out. Some of the games that I've been looking at on here, I don't really I have them already, so I'm like, okay, whatever. But I think this Game Pass is really going to be great for people who are just buying a new Xbox or really who just can't afford to go out and buy all these games day one. They can get this service and have these games at their disposal at any point in any time, and it's definitely a benefit, but it's not for me. Definitely not for me, and it's definitely, I know it's not for a lot of the hardcore people out there as well.
Yeah, I think that's more or less who it's for. People who maybe can't afford to get every new game. Kids, it's going to be good for bundles. It's going to be perfect for bundles, actually.
Oh yeah.
So it's if I had a nephew or something like somebody like that was interested in having an Xbox, it would be easy to put him on a bunch of games, him or her on a bunch of games with this Game Pass. So I think they did a great job. Now they have a bunch of 360 games in here in the past. I'm pretty sure they'll iron that out a little later and put have more Xbox One games actually in there. I figured most of the first party would be in there, but they're not there. So I guess we'll probably see those later. But other than that, it's a good start. It's 112 games in there.
Yeah,
for $10 a month. You really can't beat that.
And I was looking at some of these games, and I'm all like, all right, most of them are 360 stuff, but the bigger AAA Xbox One games, I'm all like, okay, Halo 5, Mad Max. I'm all like, all right, this kind of could intrigue some people, and Sunset Overdrive. So, it's definitely a good thing for them to kind of throw this out there. When Netflix started, it didn't have all the shows that it has now, or all the content that it has now. So
exactly,
this is definitely a step forward into a streaming service.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they have some pretty good AAAs in there. They have a couple, they got Borderlands on the 360 side. I love Borderlands. I'm going to download this for the 2 weeks and, check out some of the smaller indie games. Like they had the Mega Man collection in there. They had some Sega collections in there. So probably try some of those out. And I believe it can also be game shared. I would check that one.
Yeah, it can.
No, can. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, because my friend told me it could be game shared the other day. So, I mean, that's really cool as well.
So does that mean we can do 4 weeks of free?
We could
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, you could.
Maybe.
Yep.
Yep. Essentially.
That'd be awesome. But I'm not gonna pick this up myself, as it's more for a kid or somebody that can't buy too many games. But down the line, if they start adding in some cool games or some Game Pass specific games, then yeah, I could see myself picking it up. It's well priced. So
Honestly, I could
Sure.
see that doing that more with the indie crowd at first, and then seeing how that rolls, and then of course bringing in some more of the AAA maybe later on. I'm sure that's long down the road, but
yeah,
definitely
that's
can
just
see a
like
future of
Netflix.
this.
I mean, they didn't their own Netflix series. They didn't necessarily start with big budget AAA stuff.
Right, exactly.
Real quick, you guys made obviously a bunch of really good points, and I think you guys nailed it right on the head in terms of the audience for this thing. It's not for the diehards. It's nice if you want to complement your lineup. You're an achievement hunter. You want to grab it, get some achievements in games that you would never have bought otherwise. Rightfully so. Go ahead and do that, and there will be a contingency that does that. But it's for the people that, like you guys said, may not afford it. Great for kids. Great point you made about the about bundling. Now, I think that's an interesting point because a lot of people who buy stuff like in the holidays, for instance, they're looking at the two systems like, what differentiates these two? They're not really educated on it. They want to buy it for their kid. If one of the boxes says comes with 100+ games, and even if it only is like 3 months for that, or if say it's 6 months, man, some of these bundles have been really attractive. Say they do a bundle with 6 months or even a year. Like some of these bundles will come with like a year of EA access, right?
Mm-hmm.
So say they say, all right, we got 6 months, a year of this Game Pass service. It comes with 100+ games. That parent is going to be like, why the hell would I buy this PlayStation?
Exactly.
I mean? My kid's gonna get, and it's gonna show off like the Halos. The kid's gonna see the Halo in the box and be like, "Oh yeah, it's good, it's good." They're gonna show off the AAA's, even though they're few and far between right now.
Mm-hmm.
Not all the first party, like you said. Halo 5 is gonna be on the box, though. If they get Forza 6 in this thing in the future, that's gonna be on the box. It's going to be a hard decision for people at holiday, even for, people that aren't in the market for Scorpio. You get an Xbox One S bundle, say it's like $229. It's got a year of this service. Like, man, that is quite a bargain,
It is.
Yeah,
really.
It's definitely more intriguing than, PlayStation Now. PlayStation Now is a good service. It's just expensive as hell. And, there's really no use for it right now for a lot of the hardcore or even some of the casuals out there, because a lot of the casuals are like, most of the games that go in there are PlayStation 3, PlayStation 2 games for now, but I know they are doing the PlayStation 4 stuff soon.
Right.
Yeah, the main differences with those services though is one is download and one is streaming. So
right.
you get a much better experience, as we all know, when you download the game and it's on your hard drive and you're playing it from there versus trying to stream, because we all don't have the best internet service to be able to stream without a bunch of lag,
That's right.
So
especially big games like that,
exactly,
like Uncharted or Halo 5. It's
exactly. So that's along with price, which is a big difference. That is a huge difference between the two services. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Any other thoughts on the Game Pass before we move on?
No, great deal.
Yeah, it sounds
they
like
should. They should at least do 14 days in everybody's box that gets an Xbox. They should at least do that.
They will, because the only reason it's 14 days only for gold people right now is because they opened it for gold early. So on June 1st, when it goes open to everyone, if you just sign up for a live account, it could be silver. You're going to get that trial if you buy it after June 1. So,
that's cool.
So it is going to be included, man.
Yeah.
That is cool. It's going to be a really good look for Xbox.
Definitely.
So congratulations is in order for Rockstar, and the Grand Theft Auto 5 sells over 80 million units. Congratulations to Rockstar and Grand Theft Auto 5. That's an awesome feat. I mean, I don't think we've ever seen that in gaming ever.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's the
I think the
most game? I don't
closest.
know.
I think the closest is
It's probably some PC game. Probably
yeah. I
big
think
PC
it is some PC game.
like maybe like CS:GO. How many has sold CS:GO? CS:GO might be.
I don't know if it's CS:GO. I know it's. I think it's an old game. I think it might be World of Warcraft. I'm not too sure.
Warcraft, but I mean,
Um,
nonetheless, it's
That's a huge
big
feat, man.
milestone.
That's a huge
Sure.
feat. I mean that's if they could do that with Red Dead Redemption 2, I mean they're gonna be like a jugger. I mean they're already a juggernaut, but they're gonna be like above juggernaut. I don't even know what's above a juggernaut, but they're gonna be that.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons clearly that Rockstar takes its time, because they don't have to. I mean, they don't have to do anything really. I mean, GTA 5's made them so much money, and they're still making so much more money day by day. The game's a beast. It's a monster. I mean, it's. I mean, these games that sell like that don't come along that often. So it's an attribute to Rockstar too, because they put out a great product. I know the online has issues, has had issues, and it still has issues from what I hear. But people love it. They're on it every day. They're buying shark cards. I mean, people are spending major money in this game. I mean, the game is doing phenomenal. So Rockstar is basically chilling. They're gonna give us another big release next spring, and they're good. So
Yeah.
It's
Well,
funny
back,
because people are spending real money to spend fake money in a game.
yeah, it happens all the time.
It's crazy. It's nuts.
Yeah, I
man.
mean that's what microtransactions are basically.
Yeah.
But back to a point that Inferno made earlier in the podcast. If Red Dead Redemption 2's multiplayer is just 70% as good as GTA 5's, they're gonna be rocking and rolling. And I had a point here and I lost myself because I kind of spoke up when I was about to go. But man, I'm real excited for this, for Red Dead, and yeah, it's gonna be cool.
Oh man, did I mess you up, Remix? My bad, dude. My bad. I'll keep my mouth shut from now on.
No, that's good.
No, but Inferno, what do you think, man, on this one?
Man, I think the point was kind of stolen from me, but as soon as I saw this news, and I saw this list in the show, I just thought to myself, this is the reason they can afford to delay Red Dead. They don't need
Exactly.
right? You know what I mean? We said that they take their time with their games, they perfect their craft, they make good stuff, and it sells tons of copies. They don't have to be releasing a game on a yearly cycle like a lot of these other devs and publishers. But if they're still selling GTA 5 at the rate they are, making top 10 NPD on a regular basis, still top 10 game played on Xbox Live, selling those shark cards like was mentioned, there's no pressure on them to get another game out right now. They can just take their sweet ass time.
Definitely.
Yeah, and if they can work on the I was going to talk about the the loading times. That's the big problem that people have in GTA 5.
Oh, yeah.
I think they can work on that in Red Dead 2. That'd be really great. That'd smooth out that process a lot too. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
Definitely. So this is probably the last thing you guys are not the last thing, but this is probably gonna be the last time you guys hear us talk about this game, Destiny
So
2,
E3
until
a couple
probably
of
E3
Yeah, and beyond.
until probably it comes out. But Destiny 2 finally gets rid of those shitty Grimoire cards. Oh my gosh, these freaking things are so bad. Like, why do I have to go online to read about the story of Destiny? And now they finally have in-game lore for Destiny 2. What do you guys think about this?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have to put up with that, but man, that's just a
Yeah.
hassle. I don't want to have to go outside of my game to learn about my game. So to get, so like, putting the lore in the story itself, you're still gonna, there's still gonna be things to read. But also, if they said that they're gonna tell more of the story through other characters and stuff, and that's really good, and that makes the story more intriguing. It brings you in more, and so I think that's all good.
Yeah, I think this is one of the main points of this game is to bring you the story in the game instead of having to go somewhere else to look up or read some of the lore. So of course this is a great thing. I don't think I looked at one Grimoire card, so
I did, and then I stopped. I was like, this is too much.
Destiny is one of those games with me. It was kind of different because I'm a big story guy, but it really didn't have a huge story, although the expansions later on kind of rectified that somewhat. But the gameplay is just so great in Destiny. I mean, it's just so great. I mean, it's the first person shooting aspect is really, I mean, really crisp. They did a great job with that game. So I'm really great. I'm really grateful for a story. I'm really grateful for a story. But this is just one of the things that didn't really keep me in Destiny. It was more of the gameplay. Yeah.
Agree with you 100%. I think the reason that I got out of Destiny, I mean, I'm being 100% honest here. I think that Destiny has the best game, if not the best, the second best gunplay in all of next gen gaming for
Definitely.
FPS. I think it is, it sets a very high bar for it. And I hated Destiny, and this was the reason why, because I had freaking Grimoire cards. They had to go read, in an external place. Who wants to play a game and read a book at the same time? Like, you either play a game, you read a book, or watch a movie, or watch TV. Like, those are the 4 ways you take in media, and you're gonna make me do 2 just to get it going? Like, no, absolutely not. The story totally turned me off in Destiny 1, and this is honestly the biggest thing they could have done for a person like me and a person like you, Baines, to like get you back into this game and get you going and get you excited for this game again and get you back as a customer. And honestly, it's working for me. I'm excited for Destiny 2. I'm probably gonna grab it. So
on that hype train.
Even if it wasn't an external source for me, I'm just not gonna read that crap in that game.
Yeah.
Give me the story through cinematics, through storytelling, through different things like that, not through reading in a game where I want to be in the action and looting stuff. So
definitely, yep.
Yeah, especially when it comes to a game like that, like when it's mostly based on looting and gunplay. Like, you don't want to go around reading stuff. It's just it doesn't make sense to do that. A game like Persona, like I know I've been playing Persona 5, like that game has reading in it, but it also has cutscenes with voice acting as well. So you're not always constantly reading, but you're also getting the the meat of the story through the cutscenes. You don't really need to read everything. You can kind of skip around because you can get the gist of it from just reading a few lines here and there or whatever, and then just keep on continuing to skip it. So in a game like that, it makes sense, but for a game like Destiny, it don't make no sense at all. I don't know why they did that in the beginning. Luckily, they're not going to do it with Destiny 2, so they learned their lesson there. Hopefully they learn a little bit more lessons with these expansions as well that they're touting about for their first. I think you get, like, if you get the Ultimate Edition, you get the first and second expansion.
Yeah, I believe that's right.
How much is the Ultimate?
Hopefully those expansions are thorough this time around compared to last.
Do you know the price tag on the Ultimate Edition, or
I think it's $100.
100,
yeah, 100.
Right, so they're going to be $20 a pop, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Each expansion, which is, I think, well, no, $20 is cheaper than the previous, I suppose. They might still be 40.
Well, those
40 before.
well, those first expansions when they first came out, yeah, they were only I think $20 a pop, and then the expansions after that were like 30 or $40 or something like that. Some of them. So,
All right.
but the Resident Evil movie series is getting a reboot. Thank God, they're finally doing it. No,
I'm on the opposite end. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, me too.
no, that's the thing. Like, with Paul W.S. Anderson, you doing the first franchise, doing those movies, he kind of ruined it towards the end, here and there. I mean, I saw a final chapter. It wasn't terrible. It just wasn't that great either. So it kind of intrigues me to see what they do with a reboot of Resident Evil. Hopefully they go more in the direction of what Resident Evil 7 that came out this year.
Yeah, I think that's
the
why
game-
they might be doing a reboot. That game was pretty successful, got some hype.
Definitely.
Now they're like, oh crap, well, we can keep making money on this, so let's reboot the movies,
Yeah. What do you guys think about that, Inferno and Baines?
I'm more in the category I can care less.
Tugging at my heartstrings tonight, Baines.
I'm just saying, man. They went kind of wild with the latter Resident Evil movies, and I just got uninterested.
I only saw a couple of the movies, but they kind of sucked. So
the first couple were pretty decent, but then it just went downhill from there.
I think you describe it pretty well, in saying that they went wild, and the reason you think they went wild too is because the movies just don't follow the games close enough. Like, you see video games movies now, even Assassin's Creed followed the game way more closely, and a lot of people didn't like that movie, but I digress. I think that the reboot is a good idea, especially like you guys suggested. Go with the Resident Evil 7 theme. Follow the theme of the games that are current right now in the series. Don't kind of do your own thing. Like, follow what's been established for gamers, because gamers want to go see movies about video games that are like their games. And like, even if you're a non-gamer and you go see Resident Evil, at least Resident Evil 7 is approachable, and the horror themes in it are likable from a non-gamer as well. So I think you'll get a wider audience if you follow a theme like that. I think you guys nailed that one on the head for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, I'm excited to see what they come up with, because I always get excited for video game movies for some reason. I don't know why they always let me down.
Skeptical.
But I think I'm always holding out for, Mortal Kombat awesomeness, but because the YouTube series was awesome. They did a wonderful job with that. And then I think they're doing a Splinter Cell movie. They're also thinking about doing, I think, another Assassin's Creed movie. So it's time for us to see these type of movies become more relevant to the games, because the games are so good. Like, when you see the movies, you're like, I'd rather just go play the game. But I think for a lot of people who aren't into games, brings them in and gets them familiarized with the lore, and maybe gets them intrigued to go out and maybe play the game.
Right. I think movie games that are made into movies, or movies based on games, are great, but they haven't been executed that great. There hasn't been great execution yet, and I want to see it some good execution, because I think they could make some really awesome movies. Maybe it's because they either gave too much free reign on the movie creator, or the opposite. The game creators are too much into the movies and they want to make something different. But it'll be interesting to see in the future, because we see a lot of that trend and a lot of games being turned into TV shows now as well. So,
what was the recent movie? It was made off a big PC game.
Warcraft.
World of
Yeah,
Warcraft.
you guys didn't like that?
Warcraft was
seen it.
good.
I
It
thought
was
it was
all right.
really good.
Yeah, I didn't mind it. You know, it wasn't the best movie, but it wasn't the worst video game movie ever. You know,
Yeah, I really enjoy it. As far as a video game movie, I really enjoyed that one.
yeah, it was. But you know, it was. I think a lot of it had to do with the CGI was. You know, it was hampered by CGI a lot of the time because, you know, in order to really make that world feel realistic, you have to use CGI for that world.
Yeah, definitely.
You can't go like the Lord of the Rings route with that type of, you know, game or
Right.
you know. So yeah, it was a good movie. But our last topic of the night, fellas, Spider-Man Homecoming, new trailer just released yesterday. I swear this will probably be the last time we talk about Spider-Man Homecoming. We always seem to
Have we even
talk
talked
about
about it that
Spider-Man
much?
Homecoming because every time there's a new trailer that comes out, we're always like, "Oh my gosh,
We talked about it like
this is
once.
Yeah.
I think we talked about it twice.
Okay.
But what do you guys think of the new trailer? What do you think? Is
I
it
still have
more
to get used to the
intriguing?
new Spider-Man. Period.
Yeah,
So.
definitely.
Yeah, I was kind of
Really?
in the same boat, but
Yeah.
honestly,
I like the
I thought
new
this
Spider-Man.
trailer was pretty cool. And you know, I went after seeing this. I finally got around to not this particular trailer, but an earlier one, like when they first debuted it. I watched Civil War, and I liked him a little bit more in there because he pops up in Civil War, Captain America. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. I thought the trailer was really good, and he's grown on me. So
Well, this
Yeah.
trailer definitely showed off some really intriguing points of like his suit having a
Like his
voice
suit,
like
yeah.
Jarvis, like almost like
Yeah.
a Jarvis-like
Yep.
character in the movie. So maybe this might be Spider-Man's Iron Man. Maybe. We'll see. Because we all know that Iron Man was probably that started it all. Well, it was the one that started it all, and it's probably the best Iron Man to date. Because 2 and 3 were kind of were all right, in my opinion.
I still thought they were good, but I agree. The first one was the best. But yeah, and I think the whole, he's trying to get in with the group. That's what this is. He wants to be with the Avengers, so he's gonna be, probably in over his head in some situations, and fail and succeed. So I think it's gonna be a good movie.
Well, that's the nice thing about it, I think, with Spider-Man is it's changing from a tone of being like all powerful and being the one that takes care of the whole city to, like what you said, the theme is kind of changed to him trying to fit in with all these other supers that are just dominant. So he's trying to like find his way a little bit more, I think, in this one. Like, yeah, in the old ones, he got his powers a little clunky at first because he didn't know how to, swing from the web or use it effectively, climb buildings and whatnot. So he was a little rusty, but once he got the hang of it, like it seemed like he was just so powerful. And this one, I feel like there's going to be, like you kind of alluded to, there's going to be a little bit of a theme of fitting in kind of thing, knowing that there are other guys out there that will whoop his ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Definitely.
For sure.
Any other thoughts on the Spider-Man Homecoming trailer? You guys excited to see it? You guys going to?
Oh yeah.
When it comes out?
Oh, I'm definitely gonna see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Definitely see it this summer, man.
Awesome.
Sure.
Definitely. I am definitely going to see it as well. So that concludes our show for tonight, people. We're going to get right into the outros here. Inferno, where can we find you?
Man, before I do my outro, I got to say thanks for having me on. I really enjoyed it. And you guys are the kings of getting through 15 topics in an hour and a half. That was just absolutely brilliant. Even a, veteran podcaster like myself would never be able to get through these topics in that amount of time. So very informative podcast, I think, tonight. I really enjoyed being on. So thank you.
We really appreciate having you
Yeah,
on.
we appreciate you
able
being
to come
here,
on
man.
by, yeah.
Definitely, dude. You know, it was awesome to hear that you were wanting to come on. We were like, sweet. Goodness, we were
Absolutely,
so
man.
excited.
Absolutely. As for where you can find me, so first you can, if you just take the weakest chronological order, I suppose, Monday nights, 10 o'clock Eastern time, you can find me on TXR podcast with some other big heavy hitters, Tim Dog, Southbound, Doc Cupcake, Mac and 91 Productions, and of course, Randall Thor 19, the man with a million. So you search TXR podcast on Google, or we're on Twitter, on YouTube, so just find us there. Thursday nights, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, usually is Four Guys with Quarters. That's the podcast that I'm the host and co-creator of. So go check us out over there. And yeah, I mean, that's essentially it. Every once in a while, I do stream on my personal channels, but not too much. Usually, if I'm streaming on the Four Guys Beam and YouTube channels. So
Definitely.
Yeah.
And if you guys haven't already, I implore you to go check out TXR and Four Guys with Quarters, because both of those podcasts put on a great show. These guys are,
Super
absolutely informative. Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
And if you love hearing about, different types of games, they definitely talk about all that stuff. So definitely go check them out. And Baines, where can we find you?
And Baines 99, PlayStation, and Xbox. Otherwise, I'll be here on Quest trying to fit in like the rest.
He's Spider-Man now, apparently. Remix, where can we find you, man?
Yo, what's going on? Remix Essence with or without a space. Gotta add that in there, just in case. Oh,
We
and
didn't get the
two
little
eyes.
reread tonight, dude. I'm a little upset about that.
Yeah, little reread. Yeah, and of course, the two eyes, as my buddy Tivo likes to point out. YouTube, Beam, Xbox, PlayStation, all those. Twitter, find me there. Remix Essence. It's your boy, Lil Riri. And that's it.
I kind of just noticed this, but are the two eyes for you in video games when you have your eye on your target? Is that what that's for?
No.
Like, all right, well then I got shut down on that one. Thanks.
You tried.
I tried, but I was your host for the evening, Dark Optimus. You can find me on Twitter at the same name. You can also find me on Xbox Live, always playing games. And we are out, people. Have a good night.
Sir.
Peace.
Peace.